Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for meeting me here, greeting with me here. I hope that wherever you are, whenever you are, as you are, that you are in the best of mind, body, heart, and soul health, wholeness, in energy, frequency, vibration. I wish that for us all, even when I could be feisty and, smart alecky, but it's part of my own conditioning and humor-filled way of dealing with challenges that even none of us are exempt from having to go through. So this is going to be my vlog number 3. Taking you a little bit backstage behind the scenes in regards to just us, communicating and getting to the nitty-gritty of these things. So I've been having major, connect the dot moments of processing some of the things that I have been doing consistently over time. Even how we'll say in just to speak about someone that's not spiritually awakened, right? And to say they are asleep or the sheep. I'm trying to be conscious here too right now for this vlog number 3. This is just a side note here too, because it's just interesting because it's also like a time over time. The connecting of the dots, and then you're starting to see the picture. And mind you, we are infinite beings, so our connecting of the dots is infinite, you know what I mean? And so it takes for you to awaken to a leveling of sight to see whenever that is going to be for you. So and there's so many different components to ourselves, right? That you could be conscious, woke, and genius and all this, but there's still elements that because we're so vast and expansive in this human vessel form that could be limiting as we understand it, right? Because we have limitations with our bodies. There's certain things some can do, can't do, and there's a lifespan stamp too, and and there's just so much that we are conditioned to understand about this human vessel that we are in. And in our spiritual awakenings and stuff, awakening to the sense of truth, of sight that goes beyond that which you have felt or connected with or gone to know. Like there's something beyond this. When I close my eyes, I still see. When I close my eyes, there's still a me. When I go to sleep, oh, I dream. Oh, when I am here, I could be there. When, and this time jumping system or dimensions that we enter and we awaken to, right? There's just so much about ourselves that, that it's mind-blowing. Like, even the wokest of the wokest of the wokest of the woke person is still asleep in some degree of of not knowing something, this leveling of unknown to us, that many of the humans have been conditioned to fear, this unknown territory, that, you know, whatever. But those that are sick of the superficial, right? Sometimes it takes a sickening of the environment to cause one to go within, right? Which is why a lot of trauma, children from trauma that are adults now, right, are challenged, right, by their conditioning, because they've always been woke to some kind of degree due to the forceful natures of their upbringing that created an atmosphere that forced them to retreat in the only escape that they had, which created the world. And it's going to appear differently for each of these children that had the experience, depending on their levelings of belief systems, family, like, you know, what gets understood from a child's perspective, especially, you know, if there's no one there to explain this to you. This is why your evolution or revolution is good for our future being, because with your wisdom that you have accrued from your experience, you get to be the breed of seed that was needed for you, you know, at that time, and you get to now gift the children of the now, who are heightened and in tune and sensitive to, just like you, and you get to be the healthy conduit guide for them in this evolutionary rise, and whom they're awakening to at this time. And these are just the seeds and breeds of life. Like, you can't fight war with roar. All you can do is continue to alchemize some more, align in your truth, get into the healing aspect of you, and then acting from that space, not from a but hurt space. Like, I had to really you know, anyways, I don't need to explain myself. Right, that's part of our conditioning too. I guess, you know, this is vlog number 3, but this is behind the scenes of just getting into my thought sprees. I know it's a lot of babbling, and, you know, it could be whatever it is, but the truth of the matter, this is important. You know what I'm saying? So what was I saying? Okay. What was I saying? We don't even know, because I go off on a babbling spree, and then, you know, that's how it be. So that's another thing about, you know, my anyways, I'm gonna go back so I don't lose sight of what it was that I was saying. So, you know, sometimes it takes evolution and time, and especially if you're in that leveling of alchemize, where you're connecting these dots in your life, and you're looking at now no longer an abstract view, and you're making sense of the connecting the dots too, and you're like, oh, it's like finally developing negatives. Like when I was in school back in the days, like with the cameras and stuff like that, we had disposable cameras and film. Like I know that, you know, maybe the younger generation doesn't know what film is, but like I had to go to like a photo place and drop off my film, these negatives, right? So it's like finally going to drop off your negatives that you've been holding on to, because like that has been me too. Like if you're from like the old school where you had to develop pictures and stuff like that, like I had to. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying it's just funny because time has changed. I could print my fucking pictures right now. It's like, what? I don't need to go anywhere, right? Like, okay, right. So, I used to. So it's like, and me, I used to always like, cause part of my conditioning, I was big on documentation, because my family didn't do that like that. And because my mother passed away when I was so young, I felt cheated. And I didn't want to cheat my children, and I didn't want to cheat this evolution. So documenting for me has been part of my purpose, which is makes sense. The, like, we can call it devil, demon, enemy energy that comes in and wreaks havoc, where they create a atmosphere of karma, which is mine to live, because I have to grow past these circumstances, right? Because it's an evolutionary process, that in the experience that I had all those years ago, when my daughter's father had threw away. We were sharing this is after we broke up. We were no longer together, and it was just a pain in the fucking ass. Pain, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, we're not traveling there. I'm just, this is for educational purposes. And you see what I'm saying? And that too serves as an example too. You don't have to live there where you don't live anymore. See, I'm going in detached from the emotion of that experience. Like, I'm very conscious of that. Okay, and so that's important. If you can't travel back in time to a moment in time that is a mess up, like where it messes with your alchemy and you're aligned, then don't fucking travel there. And I'm not saying it insensitively, and I'm not saying it lacking any kind of compassion, because I understand. But unless you're committed to going through the shadow, walking through the shadows of the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. And you're going to walk through the challenge too, until you get through the light that's shining bright, because that is your mission at this time. If you're not prepared or committed to going there, then don't fucking travel there until you're ready to do that shadow work that is necessary for you in order to transmute and transform and stuff like that. And if that is the kind of stuff that you need assistance with, that's my specialty. Okay, I'm doing this shit my whole life. That's the connecting of the dots, right? So bringing back, like, so the connecting of the dots as to how deep is your well. If you hear and you're listening to this and you're saying, oh, going back to even this, I am trying to be mindful of this video, and I spoke to a beautiful soul that I learned I get along with everybody. And it's taken me this time of the connecting of the dots to really, like, truly acknowledge and see. And it's not that I'm being like, I'm not incorrect when I say this. Like, and I can say it with conviction. I can say it and I can mean it. And I can just like really like solidify any problem that I've ever had with anybody outside of me in my life is because they didn't like me. And so that created something. Other than that, I get along with everyone. Okay? True story. It's how I've been. It's how it's always been. Even though I'm a loner and to myself, and I'm very private and all this kind of stuff, my school years and stuff like that, yeah, weirdo and all this outcast and all this kind of stuff, but I got along with every party of a people. And then there were just individuals, and they came from all different parts of groups. So it didn't matter the fucking group. It's just like, you know, it's that person that wants to single you out, like, you know, or whatever. And all through my elementary into my junior high school years, there was this bully, like, you know what I'm saying? And she used to cause so much problems for me and have me, like, you know, fight all these other people. Like, anyways, like, we're not going there either. But I'm just saying that when you start connecting the dots, you got facts about yourself that, you know what, fudge what somebody else got to say. Hold up. And the defense no longer needs to even be present upon the audacity or the stupidity that comes from an ignorant fool that don't know shit about you. And even if they think they do, or whatever the case may be, like, I know, trust me, especially with the freaking cyber stalking and the freaking haterade parade from my ex-best friend crew and all this kind of shit too, and all that slander too, and all this other kind of stuff, whatever the case may be, right? With people from your past that think they know something, blasphemous be, all these kind of seeds and all this kind of stuff and all this kind of leaving them stuck, right? And then we get into the space of finally, like, you know, like part of even just an evolution of, like, let's say me, like, you know, I can only speak from my own experience, so take with it as it will, and it's only here for educational purposes. Not that I'm bragging or talking about myself in any kind of way. This is all for educational purposes, which is another revelation of revolution that's occurring for me too. All that, oh, you know it all, and everything, like, all high horsey and all this kind of stuff that has been a silence, a personal silence, like, for me. And then getting into the defense mode of me, right? Because, like, nah, like, you know, now, like, standing up for yourself and getting all defensive by the offense now, and you can speak up for yourself and stuff like that, which makes you right and glorified and stuff like that. Right, you got to finally get into that sense of self-worth and dignity. Like, what? Hold up. Wait a minute. Excuse me? Before, it was run, what do you mean? No, still look at me because you want to be accepted. Like, why you don't like it too? Like, even my daughter, like, I brought this up in another video and stuff like that, where she was like, Mom, you know, not everybody has to like you. And it triggered the child in me that is a brat that I got to meet from the adult perspective at that needed to be heard and seen. And I was just like, oh. But they should. Yeah, no. You know what? Everybody should, right? But no. Right. So it's like checking yourself and getting into the roots of your truth. Right? And it's your law, regardless if it's infinite, regardless if it's expansive, regardless if this is your law for right now and tomorrow it's a different thing. It doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're connecting the dots and you're understanding your fucking positioning, and you're having a hell of a lot more respect for yourself. That's raising and rising the freaking worthiness that you've already been accumulating and building up on your own and standing up for yourself and all this kind of stuff, but in a different light. Like, let a mofo take a bite. What you saying that ain't right? And even that tone no longer needing to be even emotional. Like, think about the power that we give away to people when we let them aggravate or activate or trigger the hurt that still exists in you. Thank them. If you want a quick shift, thank them for helping you to identify still a piece of you that is asking for you to see, understand, acknowledge, identify, not crucify, and not chase, and not seek the approval of people that are here to disapprove of you, because that's the position and vibration and energy and frequency and evolution that they are on, and that's the role that they want to play, and that's the role that they choose to play. So no sympathy needed for energies that just want to knock you down a peg or two, or 3 or 4, all the way out the door. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't like the way you make me feel. So get into your feels so that you know your deal. So you can be real. Unless I'm gonna knock you out. Poof. I'm just gonna knock you out. Poof. I'm just gonna knock you out. I had a track record for from junior high school into my first year of high school, and then that was the last year that I stopped this track record because it didn't serve me. With getting suspended the first week, every first new year, school year, getting suspended the first week of school for fighting. All the way up until 6th grade, 7th grade, yes. Suspended so many times. 9th grade, started high school, first week, we were getting our programs. We didn't even start, no, it was the first week of class, because that was a math class, whatever. Anyways, so, yeah, going back to even what I can say that's factual in every kind of way is, I cannot recall meeting anyone, even if I assess, hey, that person is not a person that's compatible with me, or I don't care for. You get what I mean? I have never had a problem unless they create one. Right? And so, flash forward, healing journey, evolution, awakening, getting into your own value meal, and then standing up for yourself for real, but still being combative for real, because offense is still being taken. Defense mode comes back up. That's the conditioning. That's what's up. That's all I know how to be. Conditioned to react. So go back. This is why I say, eat the fucking mana, eat the fucking mana, eat the fucking mana. They just don't just go regurgitating it back out and be bulimic. Right? So go back. Go back. Go back, because oh my god, what I was saying. This is vlog number 3, behind the scenes, getting into certain kind of just, technicalities of what this kind of lifestyle brings and what is being learned from everything, and inviting you all to, get a taste of the evolution of freedom. One might debate and say, are we free or are we slaves? Because we're in this indoctrinated, still, universe of unknown, except for what we're told and then we're given everything that we need to figure it out and find our own purpose within that function that already exists. But we don't know anything about this. So to act like we know anything would be a very challenging, even more so, ride, because stubborn will be your guide when certain things don't go the way you like, and you sitting there like, it's supposed to be this way. That's why we have wars. This shit got to stop. And it starts with you, which is beautiful too. Going back, connecting the dots, right? Because it's all coming. So I wanted to be mindful about my speed because this goes back to a history of me. So I've always been fascinated with sign language, and I even had like taught myself certain signs and stuff like that. And since elementary school, I've always had friendships, you know, too, with people that were either like slightly deaf or, you know, had a hearing aid, like, you know, like whatever, like a something. And then by the time I got to high school, I met this girl that was full blown deaf, and it was complete sign language that she spoke. And even though we two different languages, I learned so much from this person, and it further increased my, you know, I know, I still know the alphabet, like, but like, you know, I forgot how to sign a lot, like I hadn't done it consistently or anything like that, but I did learn a lot because was she a part of the, there was a leaders group and stuff like that. She may have been part of that, and that's probably where I met her, because I remember sitting next to her like on a bus, like, you know, whatever. Anyways, I don't remember her name, but I'm hearing Olga, and it might be right. I don't remember her name though. And I remember she had this curly, like frizzy hair that was like cut up to here, and the hugest smile on her face, always, like always smiling, always smiling. Hold on. So, and I've also online, you know, I I don't have to announce. We don't have to announce who we know, what we know, like, you know, all this kind of stuff and things like that. Like I said, very private. I keep a lot of things. And when persons speak with me, no matter whom they are, like if you're private about your encounter with me or public, that will be the determining factor of how I treat certain kind of things. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? So like there's a lot of like, you know, whatever. So anyways, I do still have a lot of connections with people that would be online that do have, that are hearing impaired and stuff like that, and who do watch my stuff. And I was just talking right now to a beautiful goddess too that is also, you know, and she mentioned she tried to read my lips as fast as, because I speak so fast, and we're just like laughing right now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna try to be mindful of the speed. I said, but it's just because she said, no. She says, no, do you, like, keep it up, like, you know, and then sometimes the subtitles, you know, because I speak so fast, the subtitles don't even pick it up. And then too, because I speak so, you can't read my lips. Like, so she says that she's trying to read my lips, and but I speak, you know, and I'm very aware of that. But the way that I receive information, it's even faster than that. And so I don't even think I speak fast enough to convey the things that it is that I want to say, because a lot of things leave too the moment that I stay focused on one train of like, you know, convey, and then other things can, and then that's why I say stay in the loop, right? If you are following me and stuff like that, like there'll be things that I can be like, what was I saying? And I can continue it like 2 videos later, like, you know what I mean? So stay in the loop. Because it'd be like that. Like, I'm recording. I'm like, wait a minute, so am I not recording? So yeah, so yeah, I'm recording. Hold on. Right. So the connecting of dots, like, yeah, and this is blog number 3. This is personally, so I'm gonna make it about me. Take with it as you will, because there's manna in here in all the videos for those that find themselves here. And I really do like hold true to that, whomever be here in this shared space, whenever you are here, these are timeless messages. It might be like, I realize too, a lot of the times, like when I do stuff and I create things, like the traction for it builds like later, because I'm usually not in the same place as other people. Like, even if, you know, I'm hanging out there. You get what I'm saying? It's different. Like, you know, and that's the connecting of the dots too, that I'm even more so like understanding. And whoa, I just made even more so like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, wherever you are, like if you're here, right, you are an evolutionary being. I'm not going to compare and contrast your levels of evolution and where you are. The fact that you are here tells me that you are evolutionary, and that wherever you are on in your evolutionary journey, that is where you are on. And your ability to, even if certain things that I say, because I have also like, I've been a very strong advocate my whole entire life for non-conformity, which is probably why I've been known as a rebel. And oh, Jennifer just doesn't listen. Oh, Jennifer gotta be complicated. Oh, Jennifer just likes to protest. Jennifer likes to just do what everybody else is not doing. And, you know, and all this kind of like, you know, it starts at home with your family, like the things, you know, that they would say and stuff like that. Like, I have to make it complex, like, you know, but it's not. And it's just funny too, because I had a dream about my birth chart and stuff like that. And not that this is law, but something got highlighted to me in my birth chart that made so much sense, and I'm gonna butcher it. I don't know how to convey it, because I'm processing the knowledge of information, because it's astrological information and talk. And, you know, as deep into astrology as I am and always have been and stuff like that, I'm not an astrologist, and I don't, like, I'm not gonna sit here and teach nobody astrology. Like, that's not my forte. Like, you know, even though I love it, yay, and I'm very informative, yay, and I'm an astro queen in every kind of way, and I know a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? But to be like, when they talk about like the longitude and latitude and all this kind of mathematical concepts too, and then when, you know, Mercury be dipping in sextile and all this kind of like, all this, I get it, and I know it, like, you know, from just being able to read and understand and know and understand. But to be the professor on it, sometimes it has come out in some of my channelings. That ain't fucking me. That ain't me. That ain't me. I don't know that shit. The human comes back and says, oh, was I saying? Another journaling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just the, you know, whatever. What was I saying? Not really. What was I saying? Oh my god, this is so much information. So much. What was I saying? What are we talking about? Oh, right. One of the placements in my astrological chart, the explanation of that placement, I don't know which one it is right now, was how the very placement and function, purpose of this placement together creates a polarity to exist within me anyways, that it's not that I can't make up my mind or not, it's that I see all sides of it. It's something in my Pisces thing too. I think it's in my moon, something with Mercury. And so part of my development of communication and stuff like that is the delivery of light and dark, like, you know, like every single side of the equation, because, you know, I have like strong Pisces in my chart, like I said, like, you know, like whatever in Pisces as we know it, just, you know, from a knowledge-based system, you know, although it can be debated, because, you know, who's to say what's the first and what's the last sign of the zodiac when everything is just cyclical and all this kind of stuff. Like, you know, Aries could very much be the final sign of the zodiac, even though, like, if we just think about the development of its evolution, it's sure as hell not, but but you get what I'm saying, like just development of maturity in terms of evolutionary of how to handle certain kind of things, like part of Aries development in whichever degree or fashion of whatever it is, and you have Aries in your chart, like part of your development and evolution would be to develop a, like if it was in spirituality, let's say, like, you know, like whatever, like your discipline is challenged here because you might lack discipline with consistency and keeping up with the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? So like you lack that for the stuff that you want to master and stuff like that. And as opposed to like, let's say a Piscean evolution, which let's say in that development has mastered that. So you know what I mean? But like still, like either way, like doesn't matter. There's no, there's dimensions to this shit. But the placement itself is to work with the planet Mercury and speaking worlds that others don't see. Something like that. Butchering it. But so more of the connecting of the dots, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like the development of this spacing here, especially if you're here and you're listening, right? It's because something got to give, right? And so what got to give is it's the acknowledgement of your purpose and the functioning of your behavior by the choices you're making and the understanding of it in a whole new light, right? So if you're conscious and woke to something and you're challenged by a certain kind of feeling or something like that, like going back to what we were saying before, like if you're not prepared to go through that shadow, walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, like, you know, kind of thing, and you're going in for the transmutation aspect of it, then go in, because you need to heal. and transform, and that's part of your evolution and your journey, your path, your function. But if you're not going to go there, right, that's what I was saying before, way in the beginning, when I was saying if you're not going to go there, then you have no business visiting feelings, old times, old places, in your Akashic align at this now time in your life. Like, what the fuck? Right? Okay, I guess, because these are mixed crowds and energies, and even though I said this is a vlog and stuff like that, like, I'm going to pick up in the pieces of wherever it is that I'm, like, you know, honing in on right now and stuff like that. So there'll be different energies here. But going back to, like, how I was speaking, you hear, and I was talking about the girl that she had such a wonderful smile. Yeah, so I learned a lot of extra, like, more sign language and talking and stuff like that, through her, and when I was in high school, and that was really dope and stuff like that. So now connecting the dots, right, and having had this lifetime experience, right, 40 plus years, right, to see that I draw in, I attract people with certain kind of disabilities too, that resonate or find comfort or joy. A lot of those kind of people, they're like, you know, I'm not knocking and other, like, humans. It's just, you know, those that are, like, fully healthy and able and have everything that you need to get everything that you want, and then your attitude just fucking sucks, like. And then there's people that have these handicaps, because that's what they fucking call it, right? It's not a fucking handicap, but anyways, right? Like, it's just a definition of, like, you know, whatever. Anyways, I guess I gotta look up the handicap definition before I speak ignorantly. I don't want to, but I just don't like. I hate labels. I hate these kind of things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like. It just is what it is. Like, but you gotta. The reason I'm able to say handicap is something that you can identify with, because I'm sure you know the meaning, like, you know, whatever. But we're gonna look at that definition of handicap. I don't even like saying the word. A circumstance that makes progress or success difficult. Look at that shit. I don't even like the definition of that. Who the fuck said? No wonder the word itself. That's why I don't want to say it. I tell you, I'm a big fucking word junkie. Okay, here's another one. Vlog 3, right? I didn't have, like, I used to feel like the poor kid in my neighborhood growing up, because I didn't have a lot of the same things that, like, my friends had at that time, and that was, like, the starting points of, like, cable hitting it big. I didn't have cable. I didn't have video games. Like, I got one video game system, and then when I did, I played it that whole night and freaking finished it. And then my dad never bought me another freaking game again, because he said I never played that game again. I was like, I finished it in one freaking night, and I needed more games. But, you know, so we didn't have, like, and I had a lot of dolls and stuff like that, and stuffed animals and things like that. But I'm just saying, like, I felt I was lacking in gratitude for that which I did have, which was a lot compared to those that may not have even that. You know what I'm saying? And I was fortunate to have the shelter and the, you know, whatever that I had. Either way, we can just sit here and just talk about how, like, kids can be so fucking bratty. But either way, I appreciate that now, after having connecting the dots, like, over time. But during that time, I didn't appreciate that. I wanted certain things, and it's what created my 5-finger discount and, you know, stealing. You know what I mean? So we all have things that we do. You know what I'm saying? In terms of our conditioning too, that can shame us and stuff like that. And I kind of wait, oh, my ear's ringing. And so, you know, what we're gonna do, keep holding on to that which we have fucked up before, you know what I'm saying? And so, no, we close that door, especially if you learned from it some more, and if you've made your amends, and you've, like, you don't need, like, you know, that could be too, like karmic too, like, oh, like, maybe you've done something to somebody, and you're on your spiritual journey, and you feel bad about it. Like, I remember, like, when I really started, like, really waking up and making, like, even just amends for stupid shit, like crying over stupid shit, like stupid stuff. Like, I remember even, like, my stepsister, as an adult, it was like, you know, like for childhood shit, I was like, I'm so sorry for kissing that boy that you like crying in my 30s, like apologizing for shit that I may have not apologized for back then. You get what I'm saying? So like we all have our moments of like, you know, redemption and like making amends and learning. As long as you learn from it and you're not doing that, like, you know, that's your resurrection. That's your bridge that you built for yourself. And I know it can suck when other people want to keep you stuck in the environment that they're still in, and maybe you had a part of, like, let's say, hurting them, like, you know, like maybe you did something that wasn't so nice, maybe you said something that wasn't so nice, maybe you fucked somebody up and they still mad at you about it, right? Like, oh well, you should not start with me, like, what the fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, maybe you slept with somebody's man, or maybe, you know, you told somebody's secret, or, you know, maybe you fucking were doing drugs, maybe, you know, you slept around, maybe, you know, like all these things that we like crucify ourselves for because of our like conditioning and stuff like that, and then think us undeserving. Like, I used to okay my beatings from a man because I stole. I must deserve this. So who am I to this is my karma. Fuck out of here, that bullshit. That was my conditioning. Being raised in an environment that taught me that hitting a woman was okay and tolerable. We built thick skin for that. Oh, that's passion, that's love, that's sick, twisted, demented, narcissistic, and definitely not healthy. Hit me once, you better fucking run. Right? Now, here we go. Going back to that. See, I say that with conviction. We can't say we're never going to be in a position that will test us and this kind of stuff in that kind of way. I can say actively and successfully, since transmuting abuse, right, ending that cycle in my life, right, that's a upgrade, right, of evolution that was challenging to see right away that it was over. Like, the last time, like, this was this was a long ass time ago. I'm not nowhere near there. This wasn't 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This is fucking well over fucking 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't even know time, okay? I'm just sharing with you, this is years ago. So there's been enough time to have seen that time is no longer. Because that was the last of ever experiencing anything remotely like that again. Granted, you have some wackos that might become obsessed with you and enchulado, like, you know, and people that from all walks of life, like, that become charmed by your energies and stuff like that, but in no way were they abuser over there, or like, you know, this is a whole different other kind of like energies of like, you know, whatever. And every relationship that I've had after that was healthy as can be, even though it was momentary and temporary. Honest be me. Right? Taking a lover from time to time. Okay. Let's play around this time, right? We all have different paths in our lives and choices that we make and things that we just, like, you know, are learning from in that kind of way. So what's the whole point of all of that? The connecting of the dots. Vlog number 3, we're connecting the dots. You see what I mean? Oh, my phone fell asleep. So, So, right. So the evolution of connecting dots is to see. And in connecting the dots, clarity you receive naturally. And so and if you're not connecting the dots, maybe this is that kind of message for you. Start connecting your timeline of dots to every part of you that has always been an active participant in your own evolutionary journey that you have, maybe not in the degree that you're judging yourself or comparing yourself against others, might not been slower, I'm supposed to write a book in junior high. I've been guided to write a book since I was a little girl. And it took me into my 30s to write my first book. Mind you, and I did beat myself up about it because I felt like I was supposed to have done this already. And that kind of freaking mindset will rob you of your right now. You're not living in your present day. You're still living somewhere else that is not right now. So it's like wiping the slate clean, right? How do you know you didn't forgive somebody? You still hurt by it. Truth. Right? For me to sit here and like the whole incident, like I was talking about, like it explains my timeline with, we could call it demons. That's what I was saying about before, and things like that, where someone will come in. I was saying about my daughter's father, and he, like, we had the storage thing that we were sharing and stuff like that, and we were no longer together and all this kind of stuff. And I had been, the details don't even fucking matter. He threw out everything. There were things in that everything that no amount of sorry and no amount of money will ever replace those things. When I tell you that I cried. Like, it was one of those things that was just as close and severe as my mother dying, that even at one point after my mother had died, it was a forbidden topic for me, mentally, to not speak about my mother. And anybody that ever brought her up, my cold response already showed them how we're not having this conversation. Because emotionally, it would have fucked me up. And as cold, like, and as dark as that can be, like, because I wasn't healing, I was handling it though, the best that I could. And now I understand the intuitive guidance of, hey, until you can reach the point of detachment from your emotions that will fuck you up right now. Maybe let's put this topic that's most sensitive and hurting to you just over here. Doesn't make it go away, but it then trains you to shut the fuck up. And in those shut the fuck up moments too, because trust, there will be moments where, when I had decided my mother wasn't going to be a topic anymore, that's what everybody wanted to talk about, or say something, or mention, or something. And the first few times, it's going to make your heart pound. But then when you dive into those moments and you mirror to yourself how you want to be, what you want to see, the position that becomes your position will start to flow a lot more naturally. So what started out as a devil's game, try to eat me away. By the third time, go ahead, try. Ooh, she's cold as ice. Sounds you, right? Right? And so, time will be the gatekeeper teacher, although time is an illusion. But yet, it has been a helpful tool for us here to reference on our journey as we awaken to the fact that we are souls, or whatever this is, whatever you want to call it. But I'm using the identifying tag of the word soul, which I'm going to define as a presence within this human vessel of mine that is more than this vessel, that exists with or without this vessel, that I am woke to right now. And no amount of external questioning towards this definition that I'm decreeing as what I'm gonna call soul, the essence of me that is more than this body, that exists with or without this body, that is my soul. And that's infinite, immortal, forever, for it is energy. And as I know of energy, because I am understanding it better, I can understand and know that as an energetic being, once energy is created, it can never be destroyed. It can only be transformed, transmuted, transitioned, moved, expanded, whatever, but you can't snuff it out. You can't snuff it out, no matter how much you try. Pluto is back, guys. I keep Pluto, like this Plutonian energy. It just wants to be heard, seen, felt, and respected, and acknowledged, and freaking doing its thing. I don't know, but right. So look, this came up in the other day too. Flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence, right? As you think it, so you shall create it and make it real for you, right? But what was I saying? So yeah, what was I saying? I don't know. Okay, so I was saying something. Come back. Come back. Come back. Right, the connecting of the dots. So, you know, time and our awareness and consciousness, and depending on where we are with that in our own evolution, will reveal many tokens that are gems for you right now. So start reflecting upon that which has brought you even here to this moment. and start acknowledging all the rites of passage that you have always walked, even when you didn't even fucking know it. Like, I think about that. I posted it today on my Instagram at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS, about fasting. And I've been like, like feeling it, like to talk about it. I'm just like, like whatever. Like I don't, even when I receive and stuff like that, it has to come natural. Like, so then I ended up coming across this, what I posted about fasting, with the pictures that I posted, I saw it. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna, like, you just bring it up. And then it hit me when I was bringing it up, why I was bringing it up. And because, although, take with everything that you hear and learn and know to be or whatever with a grain of salt, and find your own understanding of whatever it is that is being birthed into reality. Even though I might reference astrology and all this kind of stuff, we are more than astrology. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a wonderful fascination of mine, and I love the connection I have always had naturally with it and stuff like that. And so, but again, it's not my end all be all, because I have, again, like I've spoken about this too, I have openly fought with my birth charts that have been given. And there was somebody that was doing my Vedic astrology birth chart, and they would give me some of the information in parts, and I, again, argue back. Like, nah, nope. Oh, okay, that's, yeah. Nope. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, like, nah, right? So, but, take with it whatever it is that is going to be for you when you learn and stuff like that. But right now, from our understanding and stuff like that in astrology, depending on what you follow, Vedic or Western or whatever, like Vedic and Western, Eastern and Western or whatever, I apply both. And so we're in Aquarius energy still, and also Piscean waters as well. Like, for some that follow Western astrology, we're in Pisces season, but those that are in Vedic, it still might be Aquarius season or ending or transitioning or whatever the case may be. I don't know the mathematics and the exact time things and all that kind of stuff. What I know is the energies that I feel. And two, I am a Pisces Aquarius moon, right? So, because in Western astrology, I'm a Pisces moon, and in Vedic astrology, I'm an Aquarius moon, right? So, and these two are asked to create something. They're both eccentric weirdos. So whatever. Right, so we are in these energies, these waters, and they are heightened and extra sensitive and potent at this time. Then you got Pluto coming in, and I keep receiving Pluto. I've been talking about Pluto for a while. I don't even know why. I don't follow anything. Like, in terms of astrology and things, like, I don't read my horoscope. I don't do anything like that. And I don't rarely check in. Like, I follow the Quietest Revolution and Amber Khan, and I like her little composites of astrological things that I'll see when I see it. I don't look for it again. Like, it's when I see it on my feed, and I'm like, oh, okay, energies, and I'll repost and stuff like that or whatever, because I like her interpretation of a lot of things too, or whatever. She's my polar opposite too. But anyways, so I don't be like, so like to say that who I'm like all about these trends, like, no, I don't have time for that. Like, my brain doesn't operate like that, and that's not my path and my position, like to be the professor of that. Like, so, right. So it's not law for me, is what I'm saying. But like, it's funny when it applies, right? Like, or like when you're checking in and seeing that it applies. And so Pluto has been telling me for a very long time. And I think I have videos, like, even from, like, last year and stuff like that, just talking about Pluto shit, and it just comes out of thin air. Right? So, yeah, so, whatever. So these connecting of the dots, right? What is the evolution of that? What is the purpose of that? Right? To acknowledge and to know your position now, like, for you to get into this leveling of I'm valuing myself now. I know my sense of self-worth. I'm not gonna put up with nobody's shit. I'm not gonna be taken up, like, it's still an energy of defense mode. I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying you don't have every right to be there. I'm not saying people don't try. People try. And people pretend. That's my leveling of annoyance. That I have to, like, this is where my daughter was helping me with that. Like, where she said, Mom, not everybody has to like you. Because my leveling of, like, acknowledgement now, too, like, with terms of, like, how many can be standing up for themselves, defending themselves, and all this kind of stuff, at outright, like, audacities and people, like, you know, like, whatever and stuff like that. Like, it was just, like, when I, like, the whole, like, the gang stalking, the cyber stalking, the death threats that I was getting, like, and this nonsense that I was going through before I made all the connections, and, like, and then the line of defense I went in to eliminate, like, you know, because knowledge is power, right? And what you do with it will determine for you a lot, right? And so, like, it's one thing to be ignorant. Ignorance is bliss, or is it? Like, you know what I mean? But then to get hip with what you receive, like, you're in a position of power to be empowered, right? So, what you do with that, you know, and what I'm seeing a lot of, like, you know, on social media lands is this retaliation energy back, right? Like, you know, like, part of what I was saying with, like, my daughter and stuff like that, and I was, she's like, not everybody has to like you. Like, for me, the audacity of the defense is now fully trusting in, you know, what I receive, intuition before, which is, like, all the times that I've allowed people into my life, and that's that people pleasing, like, that overly people pleasing, because I have this false sense of martyr syndrome that, like, I can take it, I can do it. Like, I had to catch myself even saying that. I'm like, a lot of the stuff that I've endured, or that I allowed, or whatever, is because I can, because I'm not going to be bitter about it. I'm not going to hate you for it. I'm the alchemist of the situation to absolve it in that kind of way, to find the transmutation, the solution. And so I'm aware of my position. But even that position got tiring. Fuck that. So then that becomes a empty cry, right? Of, like, like, because again, we all have to learn it in different kind of ways and avenues, that self-value, that worthy meal. Like, nah, you don't have to be the martyr. No, you don't have to, like, you know, whatever, and stuff like that. So now, in, like, a newer, like, you know, different dimension of, like, evolution and stuff like that, is to really, like, see, I know. So coming across these energies, especially on, like, social media land, like, of these people that just, you know, shade you. And then people will say, like, this, oh, it's a dog eat dog world and stuff like that, or, you know, that's just the way it is, especially if you put yourself out there. You know how many times I've been told by even just people that were aware of certain kind of things, they're like, well, you know, you should know that you're out there, you're public, this is the kind of responses, it's not gonna always be nice, like, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And so having to get over that, right? Like, because now, you know, again, and then it puts you back into a different leveling of the position of what you were before, that maybe, again, it's like, if it's hurting you or it's bothering you, you're triggered by it, it's because it's revealing to you another hidden aspect of yourself that needs to be seen or revealed and stuff like that. For me, it's sometimes different. It's not necessarily that I'm going through the motions or that I feel that type of way. It's, I'm an investigator in that kind of way. I just need to get to the bottom of the root of what the fuck is all of this, like, fuckery shit, right? And so, like, you know, and then it's like Inspector Gadget, like, you know, like, you just gotta get to the root, because alchemists be those that be on that kind of leveling. And so it took a lot to really fully see the reasoning behind certain things, because I'm very sensitive to certain kind of energies, and I don't like to go there, especially things that are gonna trigger my anger. Like, anger was one of the very first evolutions I had, because I was angry. I cannot tell you the amount of fights that I would have, and the amount of anger that lived in me. and the walls I would punch holes through. And I'm very like high performance, very active. So I'm grateful for always being involved in like sports and martial arts and things like that, and wanting to like, I had to like swimming. I used to do a lot of swimming, volleyball, like kickball, like I used to play softball too. Like that wasn't like my favorite. Like shoot, basketball wasn't my thing. I did love volleyball though, and swimming, and like kickboxing, and self-defense, like things like dance, like writing, things like that. But like for physicality, like I like a lot of endurance stuff. Like I don't like to do, like I'm not, even though I've done it, like ride a mobile stationary bike. That's not my life. Like I'd rather take a kickboxing class. I'd rather do like pole dancing. I'd rather freaking do like ballet. Like I'd rather do something else that it's non-stationary and things like that. So gyms don't work for me and things like that. Even though I do train with certain athletes at gyms, so like when I do post videos and things like that, it's just because I'm working too, and so I use the equipments there and things like that. So that's the only reason, because of like the athletes and stuff like that, not because I'm at the gym. Things like that. And then I work a lot, like today I did like 5,000 jumps and squats and stuff with kids. My body is really sore. Like, yeah, my ass and my thighs are really, really sore today. Really, really sore. But a good sore. Right, so, what was I saying? Hold on one second. I actually have to start wrapping all of this up, but this was vlog number 3. I'm going to be watching it back and stuff like that eventually. I have other things that I have to do right now, and I have to like speed it up. Sticking. I don't even know what I was saying before. Just now I got distracted. I got into work mode, beast mode. Like now, I will look back and like timestamp, or if, I'm not going to timestamp my vlogs. I timestamp other videos. I also want to explain that too. Let me actually explain that really quick. So when you come across videos of mine on my YouTube, eventually I want to do all of them timestamped, but I had an assistant once that didn't work out. Okay, so we are manifesting, right? The perfect assistant to be able to assist with those kind of things, right? So, right, right. So, okay, man, I feel like crazy right now. Okay, all right. Right, so timestamps. All right, whenever you see the timestamps on my videos, the reason for the timestamps is not because they're a pick a card, not anything like that. It is for those that are not as disciplined to want to, or feel they need to, or can't listen to the entire videos, but they feel compelled to be here for some whatever reason. So the timestamps are good. Random, it's kind of like a pick a card kind of thing, like what message is for you if you don't want to watch the whole entire freaking video because of whatever reason you don't want to watch it for, right? Not everybody has to watch the fucking video. So the timestamps are kind of like that, so it's kind of cool, like, or it's like random inspirations, because there's a lot of people that that come that are similar to like my energy, like too, and stuff like that. You don't need to receive certain kind of manas, like like it's just like when I watch other YouTube videos, like that was about what we were talking about, connecting the dots and stuff like that. Some of us do it for different reasons, connecting the dots. And it's just fixing certain alchemies, right? There's certain people that are on the evolution of like alchemists in terms of energy, and they observe, right? And place no judgments, but they're like the Libra card. like the Libra card, the sign of Libra. Their justice. Their justice, not because they're better, and not because they're ranked or in a different kind of hierarchy or anything like that. It has nothing to fucking do with that. That's a human termed labeling and thoughts that are limiting. Okay? It's just like they have this position of authority because they worked on it. Because they have the alchemy template, and they're like fishers fishing around to who needs the alchemy template for whatever reasons it's needed, because the evolution of breed of seed, wow, I didn't even know I was going there, of a lot of what's happening is beyond what even those that think they see actually see, even beyond for me and the human speaking at this moment in time, because I have to go into, my mind is like, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to go into like any kind of channeling or downloading of anything at this moment in time, because no, and it's not time for it anyways. But yeah, so the timestamps are for those of you that don't want to watch all my videos from front to back, back to front, and just want to randomly hear a message of inspiration or motivation or mana that is meant for you at this moment in time. Or you can watch the whole entire video and then always come back at a later time and just randomly pick a timestamp that is going to apply for you right now. It's kind of like my book, right? The Darker Night, Light of My Soul, Volume 1, Love Bites. You turn to any random page and it will be the mana that you need for this right now, must say, moment in your life. And so, you know, that's beautiful. Actually, I'm going to go get that. Turning to any random page of The Darker Night, Light of My Soul, Volume 1, Love Bites, a mini lovesick adventure. What is going to be the closing? I think vlog number 2 was a little bit about this too. So if you didn't watch vlog number 2, then you need to, so you can learn about what this is all about. I'm not going to repeat it here. Go to vlog number 2. Soul evolution. Okay. All right. But we're going to go from the other page. I'm going to read these 2 pages. Okay. This angel whom fell from the sky, landing upon my third eye blinds, hypnotizing scent. It all happened so quick. Dizzying spins. Landing upon my feet, beckoning him to rise. He took off like a bat in the night with the speed of light. When I say he disappeared, means he was never here, nor there, nor anywhere. Memory overload of his haunts, trolling taunts. For me, to me, ghost lover supreme, like Casper. Reality whirlwinding me nuts. Love's trail he left behind. Into Wonderland, here I go. Come, having arrived, labyrinth into love's paradise. In every way, shape, and form, love is born. Pandora's portal of ultimate cosmic soaring heights potential. Doorways previously kept closed remain open. This cosmic expansion of love's devotion to consciousness and love's awareness, I am inspired to journey my labyrinth sublime, fresh out of my mind, love's on my mind, and there is no time, freshly laced out from Looneyville. She took both pills. Aligned are we with our cartoons, crazy walks, a very thin line. No longer padded cell and I the best of friends. Which anime character are you? Always am I feeling blue. Alice, is that you? Except no substitution. Soul evolution. Alice recruited. Lover's revolution? What? What do you mean put her back inside her padded cell? She lives to tell. Ancient well. Soul history unveiling mystery. As creeps keep tabs writing down history. Epic tall tales shared here inside of Wonderland. Or should we put her back inside of her padded cell? Does she live to tell? Inside of this wall of ancient soul history, it creeps up on us, especially when we think we're not looking. But aren't we always looking? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so that's like the dark and light of my soul, right? Volume 1, Love Spice. It is a mini lovesick adventure, right? A cosmic meeting with another soul shocks her whole. What are soul connections? Are these things real? Bear witness to this lovesick ordeal, story adventure as it unfolds and it is being written while still being lived out loud. There comes a time when two souls meet and greet, and upon meeting, neither are ever the same again. Or is it all in her head? Such a profound connection being made, and yet two lovers go their separate ways. Meanwhile, life connecting them in every single way. And strange, past life meets past life, schizophrenia? Was this connection all in her head? Or is there more than meets the eye? What is I and whom is I seems to be many a question. All the possibilities swirling about, and yet her ghost lover still is nowhere to be found. Wonderland's class clown. Was it all a dream? Is love something invisible? Questioning her beliefs and everything she once believed to know, she wakes up to a whole new reality. Are there things existing all around us invisible to our physical eyes? What are souls on fire? Who are our flame igniters? Is this her happily ever after unfolding, or is this her long-awaited trip down into her padded cell? Time will readily tell. Learning through her own out-of-this-world experiences, she knows for certain there is definitely more than meets the eye. When two souls collide and intuitively connect, their flames ignite as love takes a bite, evolving their lives. Then again, it could all just be in her head. Question everything. Nothing is as it seems. And this love-sick adventure certainly proves just that, as it bites love into every page, spreading flame. Yeah, so and then this is the final page. Not the final page, but it's the page in the book, random page. There is magic to be seen, felt, shared, tasted, explored, discovered. Time to observe. Listen to love's sound. That means to actually sit in silence and kindly be quiet. Witness as lovers naturally resist their own surrender with every savory love fight. Stubborn with delight. Beyond rational comprehension, lovers stay and hang tight, savoring every bite. For the creeps come out at night. Private eyes rise in love. This lovesick wonderland adventure first began starting from its end, calling him my friend. Lovers let go in order to manifest their full potential or growth. Fairy tales coming true. Patience and evolution are friend. As she walks away, he looks away. Shuffling away, both desiring the other to stay, as each silently prays, feeling like the end of all days. Soul gut-wrenching pain. A little too late, a twist of fate, as she turns the page, igniting waves, she takes center stage, loves the stake at stake, wherefore art thou Romeo, as she lets him go, introducing her to glow. Moving rather slow, if you ask me. There goes inner listening, pay attention, as she takes center stage, in preparation of her reign. There are voices to be heard in our own silence, schizo appeal, questioning our own selves about what is really real. Love is the deal. Well, yes. So that's the book. You can find it. You don't have to get it through me. There's a master link that I will share eventually in the description box and all that kind of stuff that will link you to every possible link that links us in every monumental, wonderful way. And if you are here and still here, hey, hi. Why don't you hit that like, that thumbs up, right? Okay, and subscribe and hit that notification bell too. And then go look at the master link and all the other links and other platforms that I am on and come subscribe, follow over there too. YOUUutopian.com is another place to be, to sign up for free, to align intuitively with me. And yeah, so that's free to become a member over there, YOUUutopian.com. It is, yeah, another place to go. Yeah, I am also at Enchantress, ENCHANTRESS on Instagram. Okay. Yeah, so what was I saying? I know, really, like, what was I saying? Right, I don't know. But, I was gonna say something. I'll play it back and eventually it'll be there. But yeah, so this is vlog number 3, behind the scenes with me, getting into some of my mentalities and loopsy-loops. I'm just, you know, thank you so much for joining me and stuff like that. It's pretty dope. I'm thankful for all of you. Whenever you do come, whenever that is, you know, futuristic, be the kid. A lot of things like that be happening too. Like, I'm just excited. I'm excited, right? Oh, point of views. Connecting the dots too. The point of views, right? Point of views. The evolution of you in terms of learning certain kind of things is to make it your mastery. Through your knowledge, that's the tool to no longer make it an anchor to you, to be so reactive and defensive and offended by everyone. You know? Does everybody have to like you? No. Do you have to like yourself? Yes. And if you're bothered by other people not liking you or taking to you or dismissing or shading you and all this kind of stuff, whatever, why? Get into the healing aspect of your why that needs to still feel accepted by those that don't want to accept you. Right? And the connecting of those that kind of dots too, like in terms of not even getting to the point and the place that not even hearing about it shifts or changes your energy, frequency, or vibration. You're not even bothered by it. And that's the power that you hold when you get more deep inside your whole and start seeing everything that you are and everything that you are becoming and everything that you are doing. And getting into that power zone of that's more than fine for me. That is the best version of me that I can always show up and be at this time. And whoever's not accepting of that, fuck you. And it's not even a fuck you, but it could be. But even that is too much attitude, you see? Right? So it's just like, okay. Did I ask you? Okay. What do you want me to tickle and pinch your tiliums in some kind of way because you don't like me? You want me to like be upset or defend or say? You know, and there'll be people that will test you in that kind of way, like, oh, that's what I was saying about, like, you know, see how like they get me out of those kind of energies because there's certain energies that I just don't, you know, I naturally vibe high. And everybody, even if they're not in a part of my life anymore, and even if we ended on bad terms and all this kind of stuff, there's one consistent thing that they can say about me, and that's just the way it is. And let them mofo come over here and say nah. Like, it doesn't matter. They can come and say nah, and I'm like, nah, whatever. Like, I was the joy of the group, always. The joy, peace, kumbaya, laugh with me, we have some fun all the motherfucking time, because that be my energy all the time. That be my energy all the time, all the time. I like to have a good time where I'm mad, that's just it, and that is fact. Like, fuck that. Good times, laughs. Jennifer B. Cool with every fucking body. So someone doesn't come in like, I don't like her. How can you trust her? Whatever. Starting with my family, that is fact. So what you gotta say about that, right? So think about the line of offense that hurt the most, right? Like, so now other people want to come from outside of you and want to poke, please. That's a joke, right? But getting into that space and place and just finding your creative outlet to take what would be your trigger of wanting to defend and confront and all this kind of stuff and whatever, and finding a healthier release system as opposed to clapping back at somebody, as opposed to adding some more war to the roar with your roars because you want to, like, you know, whatever. It's just like one of the things I say. I'm like, when someone purposely try to trigger me, like, you know, like in a healthy like way, because you know those that are evolutionary kind of way, like, and you're in a harmonious kind of vibration with like others and stuff like that, you can have fun like with like things, like in terms of how you guys go about things, because it's all love, right? So, you know, it's like, why are you trying to smoke poke this sleeping bear? Like, don't go there, right? So it's like, you know, we all have our limits, we all have our whatever and stuff like that, but part of the evolution is to truly just find the resolution so that you're not even bothered by the pollution. And instead, you're creating the solution by being the breed of seed that you need to be and the alchemy that you need to seed and be, so that that kind of shit doesn't happen anymore. But fighting back, clapping back, and being all right doesn't put you in the energy of anything being right. It makes two egomaniacs going at war with one another. Rah. Right? Like, yeah. People always have the opportunity to do what's right for the whole, for the all. What's good for the one in alchemy and in alignment is good for the all. I'm not talking about distortions. I'm not talking about toxicities. I'm not talking about any of that motherfucking kind of stuff. Nothing. I'm talking about when one is in full alignment in alchemy with themselves and tends to the one that is themselves, the all, it is beneficial to the all that is the whole. Anyways, right. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions for my next vlog that you would like me to answer, you don't have to do it publicly. Like, I'm very big on that too. Like, I always like tell people that you don't have to be all public. A lot of people are private. That's how I am. I don't want to talk to somebody on their public page, although I have worked on that with myself by going, like, my recent last couple of years of publicly commenting on people's stuff, that's a newborn thing. Typically, I don't even want people knowing what I'm watching or doing, because there's so many people watching what you're doing. Like, I'm like, mind yours. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it took an evolution in me to be like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm watching this, I'm seeing, I'm, and even if it's for different things, like I could watch a video that is about this certain kind of topic, and although I comment and say whatever I say, doesn't mean that the video resonates with my personal story, or just like, you know, or it can just apply in certain kind of like aspects and things like that. Like, you know, someone there. There's certain readers that I go to, like, for certain kind of topics. I don't really, everything is educational purposes. I have my moments. I have like one or two readers that I actually like that. It kind of like resonates with me personally. Everybody else is educational purposes. Yeah, so, you know. Spite that takes a bite only weakens one sight. Tend to the bull that's in the china room. Right. Random card pulls. Visions of life beyond death. Sacred medicine. 44, 8. 8 is great. Working through the transitions, the transformations, the work that's being put in, the transformational part, and the new birth, right? Because 9 comes after this at this time. Right? All right, anyways, I really have to go. All right, love and divine alchemy to all of you. Thank you so much.